Good, whatever time it is to you, wherever you are. Today we're having a very long look because that's just what I do. Did I just get an email somewhere? Weird. Looking at the NetComm Roadster V.92. So this is our 18th or so video on modems. This is probably my least favorite modem in the collection. See if you can spot why. That's right, it's mass-produced garbage. This one is actually, I redid all the capacitors as I do in this modem. It uses lead-free solder, which is the most frustrating to desolder solder I've ever had to use, especially when you're using capacitors that have a, how do you say, I think it's the lead spacing is 2 millimeters, so it was a bit ridiculous, but it happened, it worked. This particular one, it's a revision upgrade to the, well, as you can see there, it's an AM5698. So we've previously looked at the 5690, and I've got a 5693 around as well, which is a very similar design to this one in color as well. The nice translucent plastic. As you can see, it's got a firmware version. It was approved in Europe as well, which is kind of exciting. Power requirements being stated on the bottom. Definitely, NetComm was starting to realize that we really need to tell people what power supplies to use. And, you know, it's a bit obvious, and they should have been doing that from the start, but that's okay. So we're hooked into the regular setup here. We won't go on to details of the innards. I will do a later video on a slideshow with showing all the insides and whatnot. It is, though, a very boring modem. Unfortunately, it's quite late. It's quite a late modem. Being a V.92 is obviously one of the big reasons for that. But you're starting to lose a lot of discrete components. Well, to be honest, I guess they were starting to disappear, but anything to save on manufacturing costs, I suppose. So the modem itself uses red lights, which is pretty typical for the NetComm products. This is our client-side modem, so we'll be using Ubuntu Jammy Jellyfish 22.04 to dial. We'll then later on be using, can you see it up there? VirtualBox with Windows 98 to do a bit of dialing in there. Hopefully I've got drivers. I guess we'll find out. So how does this setup work? As I explain every video, probably slightly different and slightly incorrect in a different way every time. Oh, fun thing, there's a PlayStation 5 there now. Isn't that cool? I've got a PlayStation 5. I was made redundant at work, and I bought a PlayStation 5. So, yeah. Not fun being unemployed. A lot of free time on my hands though, so let's get through these modems. This connects directly to the big machine, which is actually the top HPE Gen 8 micro server. Up the top there, in the front. So, cable comes down, goes in the back of this guy, done. It's not terminal ready because, I actually don't know why it isn't terminal ready, but the modem itself has I/O, not really surprising for such a late model modem. It's got phone connector, serial power line, and 2 screws. That connects there. Then we've got the old this. Where's this going? Where does this go? Okay, that then goes into here. Is it line 1 or is it line 2? I cannot remember. Doesn't really matter. This just acts as our little VoIP box, which gives us an emulated thing. Gosh, I'm getting lazy at doing these. So this then connects to the Raspberry Pi over here, which is at the moment my web server. It runs mgetty, which handles the server-side modem, which this cable here goes to this guy. So that handles that's mgetty, and then there's also the asterisk server, which handles this. So we're connecting to the trusty old Banksia Wave SP. These are the similar boards. They're not the same as with the AM5690 or 5693. The AM5698 is too different. But it wouldn't surprise me if there is a Banksia modem out there that's V.92 that is the same internal design, just vertical instead of horizontal. I don't know. I mean, look, the Banksia design looks nice. Imagine it with a blue translucent front though. Just be nice. Whereas the NetComm, it's sleek. It's sort of designed to fall down the back of something and you forget it's there. Much like that Mac Mini in the background. So, without rambling on too much more, let's go ahead and see what I can actually do. So we have, last time I sat here I got a very sore back. So we'll try and be quick. Okay, so currently we're not on the internet. I've got Ethernet disabled up the top there. As you can see, no Ethernet. And we're gonna head into terminal. And we're gonna have a look at WV dial. So we could also use Minicom, but oh, sorry. I forget I've got an audience sometimes. So I'll bring that down here. Okay. So we could technically probably just dial this from Linux. I don't think it's going to matter too much. So let's just do we need sudo? Do we need a sudo on that? No, let's just see what happens. So if I zoom out just enough. Oh yeah. Yeah, I should have used sudo. I didn't use sudo. Whoops. If you don't use sudo, you get a bunch of error messages. But that was a very nice handshake. Pretty clean. As you can see there, we've got the VoIP blinking for 1 and 2 now. We're pretty quiet on the data light front though. In theory, we should, let's see if I can open a new window. Nope, that was not the command. Oh, there it is. It's close. Switching between Macs and Linux distributions does sort of mess one up when it comes to using a keyboard that is Windows based. So we want to edit the, let's just try pinging. Can we ping? Who should we ping? Let's ping Google today. Give them a bit more ping. Okay, so right there, you can see we're getting pretty good speeds. Okay, maybe I don't hate this modem. Maybe we've just got a really good connection because I forgot to use sudo. As you can see, there is absolutely data going there. There's a blink. So it's a dual LED on the data light, green or red, depending on which way the data is going. And if we go and have a look at our server-side modem, we will see a very similar story, but in reverse, which is kind of fun because they swap the LED colors Banksia was sort of green, NetComm was kind of red, AvTech was a black box with red LEDs in triangle shapes. Yeah, AvTech, I love you. So we are successfully able to ping an IP address, so let's try pinging McRetro.net, and there we go. So that's because our networking stack isn't really configured properly on here. If we do a sudo nano etc got it. And head to the bottom of the file. We have an AIM server that doesn't work. It should work, but it doesn't, so I still haven't worked out why. And quite frankly, I'm close enough to the end of this project that I don't need to worry. Interestingly, being made redundant is possibly one of the better things that's happened to me. The work environment wasn't very good. Let's just leave it at that. Just kidding. We'll talk about it some more later, probably in another video. So we ping McRetro.net now. We now get a successful ping, which goes out to Cloudflare at whatever the heck that IP address is, which will be one of their various rays. Not Ray Romano, but you know, just rays. Stingrays, there we go, beautiful, magnificent. So that's going. So we can actually now try opening Firefox, but of course there are absolutely no guarantees that I'm going to be able to get anything to load. As you can see, my recent history, looked at files.mcretro, retrojunkie.net, geocities.mcretro, the web archive, of course, archive.org, VirtualBox, Computer Hope, because I was probably looking up initialization strings, and Linux Techie, because I'm just so cool. Actually, that one's bookmarked, and it says read underneath it, so I probably should look into that one day. If we do a big jump over here, this will actually take us through to one of the GeoCities pages at random. We can also, to make sure things are still happening, if we do a ifconfig, we can see that it's much easier if I do 0. Oh, it's much easier if I just clear it. So far, 62 kilobytes in, 68 out. Not unreasonable. Error rate for our very short connect time so far. You can see there we've got 63 packet errors. I'm going to say they're packets because there's packets directly above them. 63 over 400, 6 over 4, 6 over 4, we can do that 3 over 2, 3 over 2 divided by 10, square the... Hey Siri, what's 63 divided by 400?
63 divided by 400 is 0.1575.
0.15, so that's a 15% error rate, so it's it's not terribly good. So it's possible the modem's synced. I mean, it's not the worst. Oh dear. It's increased more. Yeah, it just keeps going up. Yeah, whoop. Okay, so we can then, this page looks extremely boring. Geez, that is boring. Troop 68, Scouts. Really? No one cares. I don't care. To be fair, it's in the Yosemite. Yosemite neighborhood, I guess. This one's just an index page. That's quite boring. I could click the HTML, but it's just HTML and it's probably going to say something like, "We have moved." So I'll try another one. It's always good being able to actually navigate the worldwide localized web because the GeoCities server is also on the very same Raspberry Pi just down there. on a 1 terabyte SATA blade drive in an Argon 40 case. So this page is Lisa Marlowe's, and it's hers, that's fine, website, I should say. I'll be putting up stuff about me and my pets. See, this is, see, beautiful. It's in the neighborhood Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Gosh, where is my English today? Pittsburgh, and it has the potential to be a beautiful site if there were any images. Oh, it's an image. It's loading. Slowly. We have a look at our, so I'm going to say green is data receive on the Banksia. Oh, data send. Red is definitely blinking away there. Bit of a burst of data. Oh, there we go. The sun's disappeared outside, so it's gone very dark in here. So we'll actually get to meet Lisa in this one. It's interesting. It's got a link to Heartland, but the actual link is Enchanted Forest. It's very different things. At least from the internet I grew up in. Oh, she's got a recliner chair, kind of jealous. So there we go, there's Lisa looking very relaxed. She's got a terrarium next door. Some plants in it. She does look very relaxed. Pardon me. Hasn't quite loaded yet. It's nearly there. I'd like to see this one. It's probably a really cool banner. Yeah, okay, so modern browsers are not very tolerant of slow connections. If an image is there, but it doesn't load within a certain amount of time, I think it just gives up. I don't blame it. It moves on to the next thing. But yeah, that's still not there, so we'll just keep waiting. It's probably still loading this one. I don't know how many concurrent things can load at once on these connections. But oh, there we go, there's a bit more of that image. It's a nice chair next to it too. Is it a rock? Some sort of cane wicker furniture? Amazing. Love it. Our image up the top still didn't load. The page has finished loading though, so if we try reloading that, we might get a bit of luck. No? This one will be some sort of divider bar, I reckon. I reckon that should load. Really? If we copy that image link, where can I pop that? I can pop it up here. So see, I still haven't configured all the images. What you're meant to do when you get a GeoCities website, or Yahoo GeoCities website, you're meant to move, from what I can understand, your website is meant to be self-contained. You're not supposed to be using, this is a shared image. So you could hot link, which is now very much frowned upon, from the original source, and that would technically, I suppose, give you a bit more free space, but it was frowned upon. So that's a bit mean. If we go to the Enchanted Forest by following this Heartland link, families, pets, and hometown values, we actually get a directory listing. And you've got the last modified date. So this one, for example, is 97. Wow, that's an oldie. Let's go into it. Let's see what's in there. That page will be long. That each GeoCities one could hold. We're talking about GeoCities too much now. Yes, that's not very exciting. Oh, okay. These broken things, these are ISO, not UTF-8. I have a feeling I might have broken something when I was processing the GeoCities archive. That's why I still have a copy of the original, so that if I ever need to go back and go through it, I can. But given that this website is not in English to begin with here, I don't really need to worry about this so much, because this will relate to, I want to say Sweden. I don't know European flags. I want to say this is like a cropped Australian flag, because there's normally a Southern Cross over here. Let's click it. Where's it going to take us? Oh, it's me. Handsome as ever. Plenty of hair on my head. So slow. But data is churning back and forth. This is an SPA 112, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering. Version 5. And if you need to set one of these up in this sort of configuration, Doge Microsystems. If you poop that into Google, oh wow. That is a cool looking site. Okay, what do we want? About the pages. Ooh, links, about myself, notice board, photo page, music. Okay. Good assortment, good assortment. It's a bit like the current website, really. So learn about whoever owns this site. Magnus Wetterberg, 15 years old, Sweden. I was right. I know what a Swedish flag looks like. Very cool. Interest in music, soccer, computers. Play the keyboard, the drums, and the guitar. Plays soccer, scores a lot of goals. Smiley face. So obviously that's when the smiley face was used back in the early internet, 1997. This says down the bottom. So if we're to go off that, we can say that very confidently that this is where smiley faces originated. Enchanted Forest 1082. This is the beginning of the internet. Really, apostrophes didn't work. Damn UTF-8. I can probably actually rewrite them using Apache to make them disappear completely. So if it sees that when it's loading the page, or before it loads the page, when it goes to fetch the page, server-side it then hides it. So I mean that would actually be formatted okay. It would grammatically it wouldn't be quite right, but it would be good enough. I want to say there's an image at the top because there's like bits. These two guys here, but I feel like something should be appearing here. I don't mind waiting too long, but we're already at the 20 odd minute mark. So what we'll do is we'll just Control-Alt-Delete. If you want to have a look at that, you can always visit there. It's online at the moment. We're going to have a look at just the data that we've got from the connection so far. So look, that looks a lot better if I open the built-in calculator. Don't try this if you've got an iPad. I could use Siri again. We can now see that we have 380 errors out of 2508. Oh, come on. It's the same number, 15%. Okay, so the error rate on received data is 15%. So that could be a misconfiguration on my part, or the fact that I didn't use sudo, or just that's what it's losing, traveling along an analog line that's digital, and dial-up's not perfect. Okay, so let's give it one more dial-up. Terminal ain't ready, but it don't need to be. Let's get it ready. And I just remembered that I need to sudo that, so I'm gonna, oh no. No, there's no one there. There's no one there, sweetie. VoIP noises. As you can see, the server is telephone 1. And it's interesting the way that it tries its best to really listen out for that dial, but it just wasn't going to get it. And it should disconnect in a second or two. Ah, that is the most annoying noise in the world. Please hang up, please hang up, please hang up, please hang up, please hang up. Well, we've got that. Yeah, see, I knew it. I go do something else and then hangs up. And the terminal's ready on that one, so it's ready to dial out again. So there's the actual command we're using, initialization string. It's just the basic one that WB dial came up with. So let's give it one more spin with sudo this time. One thing worth mentioning, the speaker on this is absolute garbage compared to previous speakers. I don't think it was nearly as nice. This speaker is a nice paper cone speaker. This one, some sort of rubberized plastic or something. It just wasn't as nice. I remember taking it apart thinking, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. Okay, so there we go. We're able to connect in, no problem. So let's go fire open the old virtual box. I need as much RAM as possible though, so let's close off that calculator. Go on, calculator, get out of there. Okay, so I've got a Windows 98 and a Windows 98 clone. I don't quite remember if I need that clone anymore, but it's fine. Alright, so here we go, Windows 98. And there it is, Windows 98. It's quite beautiful when you admire it from afar. Oh, found a new modem. Oh, you want drivers? Please already have them? Damn it. Let's capture the cursor. Desktop. D. Duh. Oh, is ran a vertical drive or is it maybe it's in there? Nope. Pretty sure I have the NetComm drivers around here somewhere. Damned if I give up. I'm gonna find them. Where'd I put them? I don't want to set it up anyway. Alright, calm down, Windows. Technically, it shouldn't be much different to the 5690, but it probably had some extra features, I guess. Now I have access to where all the things are. What's in here? Okay, you got a few files in you. Not the one I'm looking for, though. NetComm. NetComm. have a look through this list. See what we can find. So I'm looking for Roadster V.92, Roadster V.91, 92, 93. 93 isn't there. That's okay, that's not the end of the world. Could be further down. It's, I have a disc. I have a disc from, so many in that folder. Start with that one. Okie dokie. Slab decks. Roadster 92. So that looks like the one we were just in. It's the simple modem. Modem, generics, Roadster, these look to be much older, much older. Oh, there's X2. So it was X2 and Flex, I think, that were the two competing standards back around V90 times. All of these drives will actually come in M11F. I've got one of those, I think, SM3200, smart modem, yeah. Okay, so doesn't look like it's going to let us install the modem. It's too fancy. What I can try doing is just using the previous drivers. I don't know what that's going to do. Oh, no, it's not responding properly. Why are you doing this to me? Terminal ready came on. Okay, so I'm going to try and find the drivers and then we'll cut back. This will take me a little bit because I don't actually know where they are. So we shall be back after this commercial. And we're back. I did say that I would have it all installed and ready, but I actually remembered that these, because I was given this modem as a gift and it was brand new old stock, from, I think it's circa 2004, we actually had the disk, and it was dumped apparently in Ubuntu, which is where we are now. But we also have these beautiful scans of the actual disk. So this is just beautiful. You don't see this every day, but if we go into say 70%, sort of really capture the it's pretty hideous actually, but that's okay. So I had access to two scanners at the time. I tried it on both just to see which one would give me a better result. One gave me a TIFF. Oh my gosh, that's way better. Unfortunately, the scanner itself actually has like damage to the glass. Someone was trying to scan, I don't know, rocks or something in the past, but there you go. So revision 1.0A. There's a big freaking disc. But I scanned it at a few angles, so. Geez, that's 12% zoom. What's 50% zoom look like? Oh boy. Where is it? Oh, there it is. You can, 23%. No, I want 100%, so let's do it 100. It won't let me do 100, that's fine. But yeah, that's pretty big. So I need to package this up and release it into my files archive. But right now we need to mount this. So if we go into Windows, but not too far into Windows, we can actually mount it as a CD. So I can remove the existing disk. I don't really care that there was a disk, it was already attached. I'm going to choose a disk file. And in theory, I should just be able to navigate straight onto the desktop, into there and there. And if we just wait a second, the magic will begin. Okay, the magic didn't begin. Maybe I've got to click into the magic. Yeah, okay, fine. drivers. So this is much newer. Chicago. And this only supports this modem, which is interesting. What are all those things? Actually find all the strings and stuff in here as well. It's another place you can get them. Don't know why there are two. They're probably pretty similar. I don't really care that much about this modem. The manuals are digital, which is kind of cool. Connects it. AT command set. PDF. I don't have a PDF reader. That's fine. What do you know? There's Acrobat. Ah, it's PDF. Killing me. Everything's a PDF. I guess it's manuals. Okay, software. We've got Acrobat version 5. I could install that. I could install FaxTalk. All these things are exciting, but we're not going to do that because that's absolute garbage. So let's head into control panel. We want modems. We want to add a modem and let it have a look. Queries the modem. It's good. This pass-through system that we use, I know I've explained this a few times, but in other videos, but here it is again. We actually pass it through serial ports, and we're actually connected like this. So we're using dev TTY USB 01 as a just straight from the host. And it seems to work. It actually works better than I've ever had it work before. It's kind of cool. It's very cool. I like it. One thing I did notice when I was going through the drivers for the other drivers that I had, they were all for sort of Windows 98, 95 era. So given this modem was, turn of the millennium, probably not going to find them. Oh, there we go. It sort of seems to know where it wants to go. Okay. Why are there no models? I know it's not a pool party, but there should be some models. Let's use that one. Interesting. The modem doesn't exist. I wonder if these ones get in the way. Never using that Motorola Lifestyle again, that's gone. Standard modem, that was 2400, that'll add itself automatically. What about now? You got no modem? Just be nice to have the automatic installer work, really. It found a standard modem. I mean, okay. Technology. We drop down to D. Yeah, still nothing listed there. So we cancel. We go back, which we can't do. So we'll cancel. We'll add a modem again. Don't detect it. I will select it from a list. Then accidentally hit the Windows key. I should just do videos of me navigating Windows 90X. What? There's no drivers? This is madness. I don't believe it. Actually do not believe it. I'm copying that to the desktop. Then I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna right click some things and really install them. Yeah. Yeah, now we'll see who's in charge of the internet, hey. I like standard modem. It's fine. Wait, what? What is it? What other standard modems are attached? Okay, so I want a standard mode. It'd be interesting to see what's here in the end. So what is this standard modem? So where's this guy? This guy's on COM 1. Okay, that's good. Crank his volume up a little bit. Everyone loves that. Nothing too fancy in the settings by the looks. Port settings are always the same. Distinctive ring. This has probably got SVD, I want to say. It's much later modems. What the heck is this one? I have no idea. That's weird. I don't know why I added that. There's no other modems installed. Regardless, we now have the modem drivers. So what we can do is create a new connection. So these connections are dead now. Goodbye. Goodbye, BitBlitzer. Goodbye, Motorola Flash modem. Hello, AM5698. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Credentials, credentials, credentials. Everywhere I turn, credentials. Okay, so that should be good. Let's see what happens. Clunk. Looking good. Got carrier detect everywhere, both modems. Just this light, which means that you can see the server and the server can see you. No webcam needed. So we've actually connected at 26.4. Okay. Doesn't quite have the same ring as 28.8, but it does bring stability. Slower you connect, the more errors you can have or something. I don't know. We do not want to go to msn.com ever. Unless they bring back Messenger. So in here, GeoCities is pretty good. We can actually go via retrojunkie.net, which will eventually probably be folded into my main just McRetro website, I would imagine, just as a subnet. Where are we going? Let's go look at Fish Tank World. Haven't been to Fish Tank World for a while. So Fish Tank World is a collection of lovely fish. Bookmark this page now to enjoy looking at this. Yeah, it's not the actually, it is pretty good. It's PHP in the back end. This isn't HTML. This is PHP getting translated to HTML by the Raspberry Pi sitting down there. Let's scroll down a bit. We can see an image I stole from somewhere. Looks pretty good. It's a fish, and it says email. I think it is animated. I can't remember. But if we go have a look at our dial-up networking again, we should start to see some data flowing. And there it is. So interestingly, compared to when we were looking at it on the Linux machine, in the background there, we were seeing the ratio was about 1:1. But if we have a look at it here, we are obviously getting, it's closer to 1:10. So there's either a lot of compression going on, or it's just Wizardry. I'm going to go with wizardry. It's easier, you don't need to explain it. Oh, what was it? Oh, it was wizards. Ah, yes, wizards. There we go, that's firing away. And stopping. We switch back to here. After 3 minutes, we've done 120. Oh wow! Oh, that's what it was loading. Something a big fish out of focus. For once, that's not my camera handiwork on this camera, but when I took that photo, I might have been too close to the fish. So we're actually, yeah, 3 minutes, 3 minutes 30, 140K. That's actually pretty good. So these are, yeah, that is animated. I knew it was. Looks amazing. Where's it go? Goes to the about page on McRetro.net. Yep. So across the top here, we've actually got, so this is actually 2 separate frames. So this is like the body and this is the header. So along the header, we can actually pick a different fish. So we could pick Todd, Slinky, Whiskers, Plankers, Cichlid, Big Fish, Guppies, and Toga. So I think some of these sites, some of these pages are still under construction, so I'll try and pick one that's working. Plankers? Damn it, under construction. But maybe it still has a picture of something. Let's find out. I mean, we don't have to find out, but it would be nice. Switch back to that little guy. Make sure some data is still rolling around. We've only sent 12 kilobytes. It's like, hey, we want this. Done, sent. What do we get back? So much more. And this is actually a pretty solid connection going between these 2 modems. At this particular speed, on this particular connection. 5 minutes, 200K, that's pretty good. Caching is working really well. Internet Explorer, you could cache a bit more aggressively. That is the same email fish from the previous page. Oh no, it's loading an image called Plankers, 2_plankers. So maybe it's just the description of plankers that isn't complete, and we actually will get an image. It would explain why it's taking so long. While this site is relatively friendly toward dial-up, it's 250K. That's a quarter of a megabyte. That's no small number. A floppy disk was 1.4. That's a lot of data. But you can watch that all day, really. Lights are still blinking. Where's this one go? Donate page. Yeah, that's not going to work. About page will work, probably. Also trying to load this, the counter down the bottom. I know the Guppies page isn't ready yet. We'll give it a little bit longer, see if it can load plankers. Be interesting to see if it does. 280. Ticking along. I guess we can just talk a bit more about the modems. So this modem, I still don't like. Look, it works well, but I don't like it because I think by this point, NetComm had actually been taken over or spun off there. Wow. That just popped in. That is beautiful. Look at that. Fish is actually planking. So that's these guys. They don't have scales. They're funny fish. Some sort of catfish, yeah. I think this is one of the ones that is really under construction. I'm pretty sure, it's just a placeholder image. Yeah, this site still needs a bit of work. We can jump over to GeoCities again. I'm just trying to remember if I have it bookmarked. The answer is no. So if I go to geocities.mcretro.net. There we go, beautiful. And we can just jump straight to jump without loading too much. The beauty of text. And I know those are going to be a ton of images, so if it loads the text underneath, we can use Big Jump, Mega Jump, Big Jump. It used to be called Big Jump, and then I renamed it to Mega Jump. I guess we can watch the images load, that's kind of cool. Does take a while. But we've pulled down, nearly 400, just shy of 400K. We've just hit 300K up. So to me, that would imply that the Linux side of things doesn't have everything that it needs to connect as well as it should. That said, it's been passed along. I guess it's all a bit of voodoo. But that's the demonstration. That's how it works. And we'll pick one in the pets page because they're always fun. Come on, just 3 more images. You got this. West Hollywood, Yosemite End. A beautiful frog. I made that. Pixel art for the win. Pittsburgh was actually one of the later sites. No way. They went to Chicago Aquarium. Oh, it might actually work. Might be able to see the pictures. Ah, betters. Boyer's betters. I want to see the Chicago Aquarium. I don't want to. It's interesting that we just went to a fish page and then, by pure chance, the random search led us to more fish. Oh, this is like, I had one like this once. When it passed away, it actually faded. So all the red colour faded. It's quite sad. No one cares, Internet Explorer. No one cares. See if we can get some of these pictures. Belugas, coral. Oh, magnificent. Oh, penguins, cichlids, sea dragons. Ah, look at this. This guy saw everything. We really shouldn't be keeping big fish in aquariums, though. We should stop polluting the oceans. Which one's going to be the best? cichlid, because there was one on the other site, but I don't know. I think the image was there. Look at this one, I don't care. Oh, it's a puffer fish. I'm gonna go back and press the puffer fish. It's gonna take years, but it's gonna be worth it. Maybe. Should have waited for the thumbnails. I'm actually surprised VirtualBox hasn't crashed yet. Ooh, getting up there in data. But it does go to show that having a stable connection is much more preferable than a fast connection. I'm happily sacrificing the 28.8 for 26.4, which is fine. Come on, fishy, fishy. So close. I mean, there are some fish there, I guess. Oh, is that the cichlid there? It's so small. Is it just an artifact? Yeah, the two bluey stripy ones and that yellow one in the middle there, maybe? All we can do is wait and hope the data transfers. One thing I haven't spoken about is the power. What's it powered by? So it said that it wanted a 7.5 whatever. What's it got? Well, if we go have a look, which we can do because this is taking forever. That's what it shipped with. An actual NetComm AC adapter. And I think from memory, we will check this in a second. The barrel size, for some reason, they decided, let's change the barrel size slightly so that you can't use any previous power adapters that you might have had, which is really annoying for me. As I was collecting modems, I was like, okay, let's get new power supplies. So the Banksia, for example, runs off a nice new one, but the cable's only 1 meter long. Okay, fine, that's not an issue. You can stay relatively close to where the power is. These ones, I wanted to sort of have just a couple of power supplies and a whole bunch of modems. But I fast realized that it seems that standards are optional when it comes to things like that. That's fine. Design decisions. Obviously got the other barrels for a cheaper price. Okay, that's never going to load. Oh my gosh, it nearly loaded. Anyway, that's kind of cool. It's like a stripy fish or something. I don't know. If I go back, which I might have just done. No, it's gone on forever. But we've done 700 kilobytes. So logging off, we're all done. So overall, that's the AM5698 as a client modem. Runs pretty well, but it's not the modem for me. Nix McRetro signing off. All right, there are two things I forgot. One of them was to use Minicom to pull the information about the modem, its firmware and whatnot. And I also forgot to show you the difference in the power barrels. So this one, tight fit, no issue. This one, same deal. What actually happens is if you swap them around, which you can do because they are the same internally. I can't find it, it's gone forever. Okay, there it is. Now that's this one, using this one, you'll notice, yeah, it doesn't have the best connection. So there's a bit of wiggle. Over here though, if I try and plug this one into here, it doesn't even fit. So yeah, changing things for the sake of changing things is just annoying for people in the future. Like, why? Cheaper power brick? Well, congratulations, you did it. You annoyed me and now I've lost the, where did it go? It's just gone. Okay, I've lost the one for the actual. There it is. It's like spider web. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to get Minicom open. We need to configure it to hack into the modem, I guess you could say. I can't remember the Minicom command, so I'm just going to go through history until I find it. Minicom-S, that sounds promising. I wonder what the S is. Sausages. It's probably not sausages, but it's fine. Modem dialing. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Serial port setup. See that serial device at the top? That's not where it is. It's actually dev TTY USB 0. Everything else in there should be okay. So if we do a save return, and then we can actually, the S must be set up. There you go, you can save it as the default. Okay, there we go. So now we're actually in Minicom. So if we, so there's the modem. So if I type AT, Z, that should reset the modem. So if I press return, wow, I'm actually focused on absolutely nothing here. This is good camera work. Okay. Simple ATZ. See that? It was too quick because it's fast, but it says okay. So everything's okay. Let's go through them all. ATI 0. 56,000. Okay, not unexpected. Not unexpected. Okay, that's a bit too big. ATI 0 again. Okay, so it's ATI 0. ATI 1. 255. So that could be some sort of checksum for the BIOS to, make sure it's sane. ATI 2, look, it's fine. There we go, that was a bit more exciting. That's got version numbers, string of what would appear to be gibberish, but if you compare that alongside like ACF, you can probably say that that stands for something. What? I don't know. ATI 4. Okay, there we go. NetComm. Okay, so there's that 11702 that's down here. It's also up here. So that's something to do with versions. ATI 509. Okay, not as exciting. Probably another checksum. ATI 6. Oh, okay. That looks like a Rockwell chipset, which is what the modem is. ATI 7's okay, ATI 8. Error. It's always hard to tell where they end. I had one that went on forever. I was like, is this ever going to end? I think this one's done. Okay. Lucky 13. Lucky 14. And lucky 15. From inside Minicom, we can also dial as pulse. I love dialing as pulse. That wasn't pulse dialing. Server side disconnected. This one has stayed busy. Because it's not configured properly. Minicom needs to probably be configured. Just reset, there you go, back to normal. So those are the AT commands, and showing that the NetComm power adapters are not always the same, but they are at least the same. Is it center positive or center negative? Certainly one of the two. Certainly one of the two, because it's not AC. Thanks for watching. Shane McRetro signing off. Till next time.